Our next speaker is Vicki Hurst.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vicki Hurst. I am the product manager for Single Cell Portal at the Broad Institute. Today, I'm really honored to be here and tell you a little bit about our product. Single Cell Portal exists to reduce barriers and accelerate single-cell research, aiming to empower researchers to transform complex data into actionable insights. And today, in this presentation, I will highlight two barriers and challenges that our community face and how Single Cell Portal come to help solve those problems. But before I do that, let me just spend a minute telling you a little bit about the relationship between Single Cell Portal and Terra. So SCP is built on top of the cloud-native platform called Terra. In Terra, researchers can perform analysis using custom workflows or standards like GATK on their private datasets or any public datasets that are available in Terra and easily collaborate with each other. The place that researchers do their work is called a workspace. And a Terra workspace is directly linked to a Single Cell Portal study. So for Single Cell Portal, we not only leverage the functionalities that Terra provides, but also provide solutions that are just specific to specific problems in our community. So let me unpack this for you by examining these two challenges. Number one, HCA wants to build a cell atlas, which requires communicating cell types with collaborators. And there are some barriers there, including researchers don't have a centralized place online where any scientist could do all of the following, including upload cluster labels to a scientific portal, explore gene expressions without needing to manage code, and annotate those cells, including annotate them in the visualizations themselves, and finally, having fine control over who gets to see the visualizations at what time. Single Cell Portal is a powerful tool that helps solve these problems. In SCP, you can upload your cluster labels as well as other study files using the command line interface as well as the UI. And once those files have been uploaded, SCP automatically generates these visualizations for you, 2D and 3D scatter plot, where you can do interactive visualizations and also perform gene search, and we return those results for you as well. In the scatter plots themselves, researchers can also go in and just highlight the cells of interest, create cell annotations right there, and save that as a file that they can either keep it as private or share it with other collaborators. Lastly, researchers have the ability to share that study with collaborators, reviewers, or just make it public to better advertise your science. So that's the first challenge. Second, we as a community need to analyze data. After the DCP has processed HCA data, there's no easy way to get insight from the data with different levels of flexibility in a cloud scalable environment. We provide an ecosystem of tools to help solve this problem. Let me explain this diagram here. Once the data is in DCP, researchers can go to the data browser and select the data sets of interest. And right there is a button called Export to Terra, where you can export that data to a Terra workspace with just a few mouse clicks. Once the data is in Terra, you can use the data as it is or combine that with other data sets that you have access to. After that, you have the option to perform interactive analysis. Of course, you could download the data to your local computer and play with it there. But given the size of the atlas, you're likely going to need a more beefy backend. So this is where Terra notebooks come in. You can perform your analysis right there at a cloud scalable with a cloud scalable backend. You can also run analysis workflows, and we have several options here. For those of you who want to spend less time coding, you can come to Single Cell Portal and run these standard curated pipelines. This is what a typical page looks like for an SCP study. Up top is the analysis tab, and towards the top of the page, it shows you the submission history, basically tells you who submitted what pipeline at what time. There is an analysis.json file that is HCA compatible for reproducibility. And down here, you can choose the workflow of interest from this list and just press Next. If you're interested in taking a look at the code for the workflow, you can click on the button next to it, but otherwise, just press Next, and you'll be landing on this page. So up top, we give you links. I zoomed in a little bit just for readability here. Up top, we give you links out to documentations to further explain the pipeline and the parameters needed. And below that, we just ask for information like what file you want to run this pipeline on, information like that. Every parameter also has descriptions telling you what we're expecting. And for example, if we're looking for a file, because Single Cell Portal already knows about your files in your study, we can just make suggestions, and you can just click and choose choose from the drop-down list. Once this page is filled out, just press Submit Workflow. Behind the scenes, Single Cell Portal submits that workflow to the Terra API, and the workflow will be running on the cloud. When it finishes, you can not only access the data from your bucket as you would normally expect, but also have access to these interactive visualizations right there in your study and perform all the functionalities that I just described at the beginning of this presentation. And lastly, having access, have the ability to share the study or make it public. So what we're trying to provide here is a full end-to-end integration for researchers, where it's one stop and they can get a lot of information that they need. So for those of you who are looking for flexibility of analysis, you can also run workflows in Terra. You have access to almost 900 workflow pipelines through Terra, including Optimus. You can also run custom workflow as well. And for any of the results that's Single Cell Portal compatible, you can sync the results back to Single Cell Portal to your study and see the visualizations there. It is on our roadmap to incorporate Optimus into Single Cell Portal as a pipeline so that any researcher could run that easily in SCP without needing to manage code in the way that I just showed you in the previous slide. If you're excited about this, please let myself or Kylie know, and we'd be excited to tell you more about it and make sure that you are the first ones to try it out. Oops, sorry. Today, Single Cell Portal has over 500 studies and 11 million cells. If you're part of a scientific consortia or part of a biological network, and you're interested in having a private space just for your group, we can provide these branded spaces in Single Cell Portal, where you not only have access to all the functionalities in SCP that I just described, as well as Terra, including having access to all of these data sets that are available to you, but also have fine control over branding, colors, information like that, and also only show the study that are of interest to you in your portal. Hopefully what we do can accelerate single-cell research even more so that you can spend more time doing science and not wrangling software. With that, I'd like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak. It really took a village to get us to where we are today, and I'm so thankful for all the help that went into building this product. Check us out if you haven't done that, and come talk to me anytime if you have any questions. As a bonus today, if you come talk to me, you will have an exclusive SCP sticker for your laptop, your water bottle, while supplies last. But seriously, come talk to me. I'd be happy to learn about your research, how we could accelerate what you do, and how we could do better to support you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have time for maybe one question. Anyone? External question? I guess I should come and see you. So,
Thank you.
in person. Oh, we have one.
I was just wondering if there's any charges for the cloud-based computation.
So in terms of compute, because it's running on the cloud, we do ask for like a billing project that just goes directly to the cloud vendors. But in terms of creating studies for storage, we cover a lot of that cost, including downloads. And there are like other flexibilities around that area as well. For visualizations, a lot of those, if you go into Portal today, all of those are free for you for public studies.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.